Namaste. I'm Nancy Ruby at the Yoga Motion Wellness Academy, and this is our Vinyasa flow for Manipura Chakra, our third chakra center. You'll see a similarity with the sun salutation, but there's a little bit more added in here and some fun imagination to really empower yourself. So let's begin by warming up with a little bit of a flow. You may want to have two blocks at the top of your mat if your hamstrings or your hips are a little bit tight. So step right between them. Drop into that earth-centered first chakra, grounding your feet, firming the legs. You want to make sure that you've got your hips right over your heels, lumbar curve in place, toning the belly and lengthening from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Release your breath all the way. Open the arms. Let your breath go, and let's gather all the energy that's available to awaken our inner fire. Bring your hands to the heart, hinge deep at the groin, knees bent, hands to the blocks or the floor, and curl in. Let your breath go. Come up halfway, firming the muscles of your back, inhaling. Then bend the knees and step one leg back and then the other. Release the blocks if you're using them. Plant the hands on the floor. Melt the heart while you tone the belly and keep that lumbar curve. From here, we'll pull back from the sitting bones up into the sky, keeping the arms steady, coming in to downward facing dog, and breathing our way into a push-up position. Look forward, keep your heart open, melt the heart, tone the belly again. From here, from the toes or the knees, lower down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, landing in cobra, hands back by your chest. Then curl up gently, pushing off the belly onto the knees, maybe even onto the toes. Then lower the knees, scoop up the belly, come towards cat pose, curl the toes under, and lift the sitting bones, rearranging that spine again and taking 5 deep breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep, even, if you know them, Ujjayi Pranayam. Feel the subtlety of alignment as you feel what's in your body and let your body gently refine the posture so your energy flows more freely. From here, bend the knees a lot. Shift your gaze up and your weight forward and walk your feet, or if you're willing, hop your feet to your hands and take a deep opening with inhaled breath. Forward fold, exhale. Bend the knees, unhinge from the hips, come all the way up and back to center. One more time. Inhale, take it up. Bend the knees, hinge forward, exhale. Halfway up, inhale, modify as needed. Plant the hands, come back to the knees, or if you're willing, just step back to push-up position. Nice deep breath in, lower to the floor or part way, chest wide open, then push back up. Bring the hips forward into what we call upward facing dog, perhaps pushing off the legs onto the top of the feet. Curl the chin to the throat, lift the belly. Set yourself up for downward dog, arms active, heart melted, belly tone, sits bones high, and breathe. Build your inner fire or calm it down, whichever direction your energy needs to flow today. Let your breath go. Shift your weight forward. Again, step, walk, or hop your feet to your hands, and then lift up. Nice deep breath, and exhale. Bend the knees, unhinge all the way up, and back to center. Now let's turn forward, and we'll stretch wide on the mat. Hands on the rim of the pelvis. Press down into the earth. Lengthen up and hugging into the solar plexus. This is going to be the area we focus on through this next series. We can use our imagination, turning the hips slightly to the side. Let your whole leg turn So you're spinning that front leg open so the knee faces the toes and grounding firmly into the back leg. Maybe adjusting the distance between your feet. Pull that back hip in line with the heel. And then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, sink into your lunge. Okay. Notice how low your body's willing to go. Keeping the strength. Open your arms up. Here we are in Warrior Two. And we're going to use our imagination, looking out over the front fingertips. Imagine you have a satchel of arrows on your back. And in your front hand, you're holding a bow. So before we reach for that, let those arrows represent something that you're manifesting in your life. What is it that you desire? Perhaps a different way of being, or something you want to create, or change, or let go of. What is it? What would you like to create for yourself? Dial in with clarity that one particular desire, and then reach back behind and let yourself pick out that desirable arrow, pull it out of your satchel, and bring it around. And let's put it in the bow, and then we're going to pull back the bow and hold that tension. So strongly extending forward and pulling back. Build the tension, set your gaze out on the target of your desire. Pulling, 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 getting more and more clear with that which you want to create. And then we'll take a deep breath in and we'll let go with a sound of Ra to really let that fiery arrow go right into your bullseye. Take a deep breath in. Ra! Keep your eyes on your target. Sweep the back arm over to the front. Step up a bit. Now open yourself up and really look at that which you're desiring. Be clear with what you want. How does it feel? Does it suit you? Does it feel right? Does it feel authentic? Let's bring the hands right in towards the third center. Interlace the fingers in Mukundi Mudra, middle finger extended. And then we're going to look at that target even more. Stretch the arms out, maybe even lean into it. Be aware of what you're creating for yourself. Stand strongly on the front leg as you step up. Create a little kickstand with the back leg, pushing into the earth. Get strong in your body. Awaken your inner fire and reach forward for that which you're desiring today. What can you manifest for yourself? Breathe. See it clearly, and then stand tall in your mountain pose. And imagine that desire is true for you right now, in this moment. How does that feel? Then turning towards the long edge of the mat, let's do that again. So we'll get a second chance, maybe the same desire, just try it on even more clearly. So open yourself up. We'll start with arms wide this time. Spin the hips in the other direction. Plug in the back foot. Stay nice and tall through the torso as you sink into the inner back thigh. Okay, strong and steady. Now look out over those front fingertips. See your target. Know your desire. Reach behind. Grab your arrow of desire. Bring it around and string your bow. Pull back. Now hold the tension. When you're really wanting something in your life, you've got to be able to hold that tension between the wanting and the having and get really, really clear on what the details are about that desire. Breathe into the feeling state. See it clearly. And now we're going to let our arrow go. So take a deep breath in. Rah! Keep your eye on the target. Reach around. Step up a bit. And open yourself up. Open that third chakra right at the solar plexus and just face that target. What is it you're shooting for? Let's get a little closer. Bring the hands into Mukundi Mudra. Lean forward with a nice long spine. Tone the belly. Reach the arms out towards that target. Lean a little closer. If it feels steady and strong, straighten that standing leg. Charge out through both legs. And start to reach further and further towards that target. How does it feel? Breathe into it. And then stand tall and let your arms go. And again, as if that desire has already manifested, how does that feel? Let's step wide once again. Stretch all the way out like the rays of a sun. Deep breath in, then bring your heels in. And we're going to bring the hands together in what's called Brahma Mudra, your fists together, your thumbs together like a flame, and sink down into the strength of your roots. Anchor your heels, lift your heart, and then we're just going to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hips, squeeze the legs together so it makes you come up and then lower, and squeeze and lower. And if you'd like to, add Bhastrika, a little fire breath. You'll feel that pumping right at your third chakra. Five more. And squeeze the legs together. Let the heels come out again. Slide the hands down the legs. Bend the knees as necessary to rotate from the hips. And fold over. Nice deep full breaths, feeling that inner heat you're creating. Bathe in it. Then sliding the hands to the hips again. Bend the knees. Unhinge. Take your time so you don't get dizzy. Pull the heels in for Kali Asana. Hands in Brahma Mudra. So Kali is the goddess of destruction, and she destroys what no longer serves us. So what do you need to burn away in order to manifest what you want? Bhastrika breath if you'd like. If it's too much, just easy breaths and then squeeze. And 5 more. Sink and lift. Good. Kick the heels out again. Stretch it out. Bend the knees. Hinge forward. And let go. Now place the hands on the floor. Walk your feet in and put your knees on the ground. We're going to sit in hero pose. Personally, I like to use a block, and I place it right between my ankles, toes down, and then sitting back on my heels. You could also take a blanket, and you could put that on top of the block for a little bit more padding. And this allows the pelvis to draw forward, and then take the solar plexus in. Sit nice and tall, Brahma Mudra once again. So I'm going to turn back towards you now that you know what my legs are doing. Do a little angle here so you can see everything. And then once again, that Bhastrika. So it's a very short in and out breath, pumping the diaphragm muscle, awakening your inner fire or Agni, fire of digestion. Again, easy, gentle breaths if that suits you today. Let your breath go. Full deep breath in. A few more. You could go a little faster if it suits you. And release. Hands on lap. And feel that heat. Let it move through your body. Again, cleansing and purifying. Letting go of obstacles so you can have a clear path toward your own personal desires, intentions. So you can stay seated here in what we call Vajrasana. Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose. Or you could change your position if you prefer and sit on the blanket in what we call Sukhasana. So the legs are folded at the ankle. If your knees are high, Virasana or Vajrasana might be more comfortable. Or you could bring the blocks underneath and give yourself a support. So please make yourself comfortable as we drop in just for some nice gentle breathing now. Hands again can be either on the lap, or we have Brahma Mudra, the fists together in that, or Mukundi Mudra. So just notice what feels best to you. Close your eyes. Feel into your options. You want to settle into the front of your sits bones. Draw up through the sides of your torso. Settle down into the solar plexus. Heart wide open and the head floating above the shoulders. Let's just breathe into this warmth that you've created. Drop inside and allow yourself to reflect on that which you're creating. Every day we're creating our own life through the choices we make. So when we wake up this third center, Mukundi Mudra, and we build our strength and our stamina, it allows us to move more gracefully through life. Nice, easy breaths. And we'll finish with the chanting of Ram one more time. So it'll be 3 rounds of Ram on one exhalation. Let your breath go. Take a full deep breath in. Ram, Ram, Ram. Feel the energy that you are, and let yourself be directed by the fire of your enthusiasm. Namaste.